to ramble and go real quick. I'm going to do my thank yous at the end. The way I'm going to do it is I'm going to talk a little bit about the team as a whole, some of the highlights of the season, some of the challenges. Then I'm going to bring everybody up by class and speak a little bit about each individual and then do our review. So I'm going to do a little bit. As Coach Ian said, obviously this season there was a lot of transition, a lot of challenge. We inherited a very, very young side, which puts us in a good stead for the future. And I had a lot of personal challenges myself in terms of figuring out, I don't know a lot of these girls, what the best formation for them to play, who's going to be the most influential in each spot, the strength of the schedule that we were going to be playing. So I had a lot to think about early on, and those were some of the biggest challenges that I felt that I had. Of course, the spring season is such a short season, and you really need to try and hit the ground running. The girls have been absolutely fantastic from the very beginning, right from the first practice sessions all the way to when we had our team bonding just at the high school, which was some of the funniest minute-to-win-it games I've seen. It was brilliant, which really brought the group closer together. I think in our very first game, I learned the most this group. We played at Brighton away, who at the time were a top 10 school in the state. I'd seen them play against Skyline and knew exactly how difficult it was going to be. And I implemented some tactics that I wasn't 100% sure that everybody, one, would be on board with, and two, be comfortable doing the job that I asked them to do. I knew we weren't going to have a lot of possession of the ball, so I asked my attacking players to really come back and defend, and would they be willing to do that? Would they be willing to work harder going backwards than going forwards? And to their credit, every single player on that evening worked their butt off, and unfortunately we conceded in the last 5 minutes, but I knew straight after that game that, okay, I've got a group here. We might not be the most experienced, and a lot of players have got a lot to learn, but man, they're really gritty, they can ride it out, they can grind, they can fight for each other, and the room for growth is perfect. So that for me, as soon as in that moment I knew, okay, we've got a lot of work to do, but there's already no, I knew from that moment that we were going to have it was going to be a good season. Another one of the highlights, obviously, in our overall record was 9-6-2. The 6 losses were mainly against out-of-conference opposition, with one loss to Skyline, which still hurts. But I mean, when I took the job, a lot of people asking me, that's a lot of pressure, you know. Of course, I didn't know a lot of the statistics going into it, that they hadn't lost a league game in 5 years, or whatever it was, or they hadn't conceded a goal in 5 years, which, yeah, that's okay. But, like Coach Ian said, when you lose 12 seniors, that's more than a team. But the growth that a lot of these girls have got, and that I know are going to progress and push on, I fully expect that 9-6-2 to keep rising and rising and rising every season, starting from next season. Other highlights, wasn't really in season. Another one of my things that I was really glad to see was the amount of participation that was in our winter conditioning. You know, that's optional. You don't have to go to that. But that was another indication where, okay, these players really want to attack this season. They really want to go at it, and we're pretty much there 3 times a week, 2 times running around that track, and 1 time in the winter session with Martha, who's one of the scariest women. She really is. She is intense, but you know, she is a bit intense, but that's just her personality. It was really good. So I'm going to move on here, and again, I'm going to bring everybody up by class, and we're going to talk a little bit about them. So first of all, I'm going to invite up the freshmen. First of all, I'm going to talk about Maya. So you can stand up here and be a little bit awkward. Okay, Maya Prasad, unfortunately she couldn't be here this evening because she's participating in field hockey nationals for the U16 age group in Kentucky. So Maya is a multi-sport athlete, very talented, very smart girl academically. Brilliant soccer player, extremely versatile, can play left back, right back, brilliantly technically, excellent first touch. I know Maya probably would have liked to have played a few more minutes this season, and I know it's something that she wasn't used to, but once she understood her role and what I was expecting, and that the learning process was really going to be in practice and she would get opportunities, she really started to flourish. Let's give Maya a round of applause. Abby Gray. I know you are hating being up here by yourself. So am I. Absolutely fantastic kid to work with. Extremely shy, but the potential is unbelievable, and I'm extremely excited to have her hopefully for 3 years. Technically on the ball, brilliant. Can play with both feet. Has an eye for a pass. Can shoot from distance with either foot, as we saw in multiple games this season. Really was a catalyst on our attack, looking for through balls and finding passes to strikers' feet, and pretty gritty without the ball as well. I think I was actually pretty surprised at how quickly she adapted to playing varsity, which was a pleasant surprise, and overall great season, and looking forward to, like I said, another 3 years hopefully. Bigger group, sophomores that we come. Very much the whole squad. Okay, first one, Brenna Crawford. Brilliant attitude, always looking to improve. Constantly texts me out of season asking to do and shoot in practice and get extra drills and extra reps because she wants to improve as a goalkeeper that much. Same as in season. Whenever she's very open and honest, whenever we do a practice where she doesn't feel that she has had enough reps in goal or enough quality shots taken at her, she'll let me know about it and ensure that Craig takes her off the next day to really put her through her paces. One of our strengths, which we saw this season, is really being fearless about coming out and commanding her area. The amount of times where balls have got played through and she's rushed out and dived at strikers' feet and took the ball and took the man and sometimes took Taylor Page and Megan with her. That's what you want from a goalkeeper who is extremely confident and going to rush out, and if they know that, you know, if we want to step up and balls are going to get played over the top, the Bren's going to be there rushing off our lines. She had many big saves throughout the season. One that sticks into my mind is our home game against Huron in our first home game. A game that we probably should have won. Got down to the last 2 minutes. We were pushing for an equaliser and they broke, and the goal was 1v1, and Brenda's made a save out of nowhere to put it around the post. Fantastic save, and sometimes when you need a goalkeeper like that, when there's not a lot going on in the game or they're not getting a lot of action, that split-second moment that they can pull out a save, and that pretty much saved us the game for a tie. So, Brenna, fantastic. Thank you very much for a good season. Okay, Megan Parada. Megan was kind of thrown a bit into the thick of it this season. I know she's played as a defender before, but mainly as a defender in a 3, not necessarily as in a back 4. Megan started every game for us this season and played heavy minutes, and really did get better as the season went on. She's not afraid to get stuck in. She's not afraid to head the ball. Brilliant 1v1 defender. Sometimes a little bit too eager to dive in, as we spoke about, but has great pace to recover. Fantastic kid who always gives 100% in practice and in games, and a very good centre-back for this programme for years to come. Good with both feet, confident on the ball. The sort of direction we want to take is, you know, playing out from the back, and she certainly has all the attributes to continue that going forward. So, congratulations on a good season, mate. Libby Hansen. Libby is, in my eyes, the perfect number 9 target forward. Has all those attributes. Physically strong, quick, can hold the ball up, can strike from distance. Not afraid to put in a really good shift for the team defensively, constantly put the back four under pressure. Had a good sophomore year, contributed to a lot of our goals, scored 5 herself. I know she's, has extremely high standards and believes she probably scored a couple more. But sometimes that comes with just being clinical and gaining a little bit more experience at that level. And I fully expect next year and the following year for Libby to be right up there with amongst the top goal scorers in our team. So congratulations on a good season, Libby. Reggie Durst quietly had a really, really good season for us this year. Isn't going to show up too much on the stat sheet in terms of scoring goals, although I think she's very capable of doing so. Brilliant passer of the ball, loves to keep possession, always plays the simple pass, keeps the ball recycling. You'll see in the video later that, and I mentioned this when we had our one-on-one, a lot of the goals that we scored, Reggie was on the field. It might not have been a direct assist, but whenever you see them celebrating, you'll see number 14 there. And that comes with just keeping the ball ticking over, keeping possession, keeping the tempo high, works extremely hard, puts herself about, isn't afraid to get stuck in, takes practice extremely seriously and is constantly pushing herself to be better. Asks a lot of questions, always wants to know what she can do better to get more playing time to start the game, and that's something that I really value. Somebody's not afraid to come up and ask, hey, how can I get better? What do I need to? What in your opinion? What do I need to do better? So congratulations for a good season, Richard. Jackie Scott had a rough go of it this season. To be honest, mainly due to injury. Got injured, what was it, one of the first couple of training sessions after spring break, and I kept trying to, she desperately wanted to be involved, didn't want to miss any practices and maybe sometimes tried to rush back a little bit too early and re-aggravated the injury, which kept her out for a little bit longer. But hard-working kid, when fully fit, good attacking fullback. The game where she played, when we played our little scrimmage in Farmington in the snow, very attacking, brilliant vision going forwards, tremendous ability to put crosses in the box, player that has a ton of potential. Person I had to speak to during winter conditioning to convince her to come and try out after she took a break off of soccer, and I'm hoping that, despite not necessarily getting a lot of playing time due to injury, that you can continue to stick at it and come back this season. So. Congratulations, Jackie. Audrey Wigott, another player whose season was cut short before it really started. Audrey, to her credit, attended pretty much every winter conditioning practice all through the winter. Really worked hard to ensure that she was going to be at her sharpest during tryouts. Although she only participated in one day, she demonstrated what a talented soccer player she was. We didn't find out that she had torn her ACL until after the tryouts, but I think she was in your group here, right, for that. Must have been what it was. But during Ian's part of the tryout, I just happened, I was there, and she was striking balls right foot, left foot, powerfully. Player that we could have done with this year. These things happen. She can play multiple positions, has excellent technique, very quick, and again can strike a ball from anywhere with tremendous power. There's a little video going around on Twitter, I think it was, from when she played in Canton, won a ridiculous free kick. Another player who has tremendous potential. I'm really looking forward to her staying on the program and really contributing for the next 2 years. So congratulations again. Natalie Malbone. Natalie had a fantastic first year on varsity. Natalie finished the season as the team's second highest goal scorer with 7, which for a wide player, although she can play through the middle, but she was mostly used as a wide player on the left, is a really good return for seven goals for a wide player. I think she definitely grew in confidence as the season went on. Very quick, who is now becoming more effective with her finishing and be able to finish with either foot. Technically is getting better every day. Doesn't start to always rely on her speed and starts to work on a couple of moves to make defenders miss, then create a little bit more space for herself to get shots off. Again, like Audrey, never missed a winter conditioning practice or a weight room session. Even in those days where it was, we had a real big ice storm and it was kind of like a last minute thing where we were going to have one, and we only had 8 people there. And the one day where we didn't have a full house there, she was one of the ones that was there, making sure that she was ready for the season to start. One of my favourite moments from the season of Natalie was when we played away at Bedford, and she made a run down the line, and the defender cut her off, and she smacked into her, hit her head, and relax, the story has a happy ending. And she had to be assessed for a concussion, and the athletic trainer came over to me and said, "I'm not sure if she's going to be ready. She's responding well, but it's nearly half time, so we might, keep it easy." I was like, "That's fine. Whatever you say is fine." 2 minutes later, she comes up to me and goes, "Oh, she might be okay. You might want to try put her on for 2 minutes and see if her symptoms worse or anything like that." I said, "Okay." They have a free kick. They take the free kick. She picks up the ball at the halfway line, beats 2 players, and puts it in the top corner. I went to the trainer and went, "I think she's all right." Congratulations on a great season, Nat. Lauren Rubin. Fantastic kid to coach. Always has so much energy. Always lightens the mood. Never dull when she's around. Is definitely not quiet. I'll try and do most of my team talks when she's getting taped or eating, just so I can get a word in. She does love a chat. On the field, Ruby has been huge for us this year, leading our team in scoring with 10 goals. Having high standards, like I know she does, I think she probably felt that she could score a couple more. Really hard work on the field, willing to play pretty much any position that's going to benefit the team. Physically strong with her back to goal. She's able to pin defenders, hold them off, roll them. Brilliant technically, has good feet to make defenders miss and create opportunities for other teammates to score. Another one who is Another one who is constantly asking questions all the time on how to improve. Always asking for little one-to-one meetings for advice and on where to play and how to get better. Really excited for her to be part of the program for another 2 years, and expecting big things. Congratulations on her. Juniors.